Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale. Josh, morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Kind of missed you last week.
Yeah,
you kind of missed me too, didn't you? I bet you did too.
I think it's been a couple weeks since
It's been a couple weeks since you and I've been
together. Since we got together, but that's okay.
Anyway, hey, everybody, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be, anything in the automobile world. Hey, you want to talk about this? I don't know. I'm going to call it the stupid strike. We can talk about that too. For each and every caller calling in, you get a great price package about over $130. And I don't know any show in the world you can call in and get that kind of a deal from that part. So as always, Josh, what's in that package for each and every caller and anything in the automobile world? We don't care what it is. What's in there, Josh? So
we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components. You'll also receive $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, 316-462-3673. That number comes right into the front desk. Tell the ladies that there that you want to get patched into the podcast with your question. And again, anything in the automobile world, anything that's going on, you want to talk about this stupid strike, we can get our comments and everything going on about that. I'd love to hear your comments and stuff too. Morning, Delbert. Morning, Jeff. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. But, Josh, this strike is, I haven't followed it 100% like I probably should have with everything else going on here at the store and everything else too. But I think it's pretty crazy.
It is, it is crazy. I'm pretty opinionated on I guess which side of that is. And I don't know, maybe to the listeners, how about just a union in general, not necessarily even a strike, but has anybody worked for a union or kind of the benefit side of being as part of a union, or if you have an opinion one way or the other, whether, a union is a good thing or not, I think that's even a topic of discussion. I think there's pros and cons to everything, just like everything else. There's pros and cons for just about everything out there. But it seems very crazy to me that we're where we're at right now,
Okay, I agree with you, Josh, and morning, Derek. Thanks for joining in and stuff too. So I do too. It's kind of again, you hear the media again. What's the media telling you the truth? What's been manipulated? All that kind of stuff too. But a 40% pay increase. I mean, who in the world wouldn't want a 40%?
Well, yeah, everybody out there would.
Okay, so it's kind of like the different things you hear back and forth and all that kind of stuff. 40% pay increase. What do you think that really does? All that's going to do is take these manufacturers. Yeah,
they got to increase the cost of the product.
Cost of the product. Does everybody not realize that the cost of the product is going to have to go up? And all we do is get around and complain how expensive things are today, but we want to be paid that. And the couple of things out there. My opinion. Again, opinions are a lot from that standpoint. I think years ago, the unions made a major role in taking care of the employees and all that kind of stuff too. But I heard a number the other day that how much money the union makes off these off their people, and they want to talk about how much the executives are making the big decisions, the right decisions or wrong decisions on what has to happen to these corporations, and they want these skilled workers to get paid like these executives. That's not how the whole world works.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's not. But I don't think the union today is as new, as crucial as it was years ago. I think us as employers know how well we need to take care of our employees, and when we want to take care of our employees, give them the benefits and give them the things they need to have from that standpoint. But a 40% pay increase, let's get realistic, okay? And they offer a 21% pay increase, and that the head of the union just throws it in the trash can. Where's the professionalism here?
Yeah.
And he wants to talk about when he's negotiating with one of the executives that are sitting in his second home or wherever. Well, he did that. He earned that money for making the right decisions to make the company the right kind of money. If the company doesn't make money, how do you pay your skilled workers?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, that is, I don't know. I think that's a lot of the principles that, America was built on, is that you could go to work and, advance yourself by learning new things and growing, within your career.
I mean, if you want to make those big dollars like the executive is, go to school, do what you got to do,
do something different.
Do something different in your job. Don't expect to sit there and sit on an assembly line and
continue to grow. Yeah.
And continue to grow the situation. So, I don't know. So let's get the phones ringing. Let's get the comments going. Unions, tell me about what you're thinking. Tell me your thoughts and everything on the what's happening on the strike. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your opinions. And again, no one don't get mad about anybody, what everybody has to say. This is an opinionated deal. Let's talk about it. Let's hear each other's side. I've learned over my years of managing people and all that kind of stuff. Get all the facts. Get both sides of the story. Don't just get the one side you hear. Get them all, and then kind of dive into that a little bit and see what's really true and what's not. Yeah, I think the workers need a raise? I understand that, everybody from that standpoint, but not 40%.
Well, and the cost of living clearly over the last couple of years has gone up, pretty substantially, for sure.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things, and I think the other side of this coin is you talked about it just a little bit, but the media being involved, you really only hear what information you're given, from the media side of things, and that, I think, sometimes can murky the waters or muddy it one way or the other, just because they're only going to let you hear what they want you to hear, so.
Well, and how much can you believe and how much you don't believe, and how much have they changed the story a little bit or changed a few words around, or because this happened to us here at the store with the media from that part. And it's why what is true. And, Josh, we sat in the manager's meeting on Tuesday, talked about the strike and everything else like that. And you hear what you hear from the media, but is that true? Is that 100% true? What's really happening and stuff from that part? Or are they putting more into the story to get them to watch their news channel instead of what's really factual? I want to know the facts. I want to know what's happening from that part. So I hope we're close to an end of this thing. I hope the closer we're getting that the union and the manufacturers can come together. But again, I heard that GM and Stellantis, they're going to go in and shut down their parts.
Yeah.
Ford hasn't happened to Ford yet. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for those guys that are not getting their parts at their dealerships to take care of their customers. And that's the next thing.
Well, that's all you're doing in doing that is you're pissing off your customer base that you already have too. So now you're already preventing somebody from getting their new product that they've already wanted, which is what is putting money in your pocket when you are working and part of the union. They're not hurting Ford. I mean, they are hurting Ford, but
they're really hurting you. They're hurting you as a consumer. If you've got a car that's broke down and you need to get to work to earn your living, you can't now because you can't get the part.
And then I don't know, just every fiber in my being on the customer service side of things, like it just counterdicts what you would be working for as a long-term goal. You're worried about today and right now and the here and now, but what about tomorrow? You go piss all those people off, and they have to come up with other solutions to their problems. Like they're not going to sit around and just wait for resolution on this deal. They'll go somewhere else. They'll go to a different manufacturer. They'll buy another vehicle.
I get it. All right. We need some opinions. 316-462-3673. What do you think about the strike? What's happened? What's going on? Your opinion. Not going to get mad at you for anything you have to say.
Sure.
We'd love to hear from you. And again, everybody's got a different idea, different angle to look at and all that kind of stuff too. We're just basically telling you what we think, what we feel and all that kind of stuff. But, that is the sad part. The parts, shutting down the parts side of that situation is killing the consumer worse than anybody I think really realizes what that's doing. We have had enough supply chain problems since
Yeah.
COVID happened, and we're just now kind of getting back on the feet of getting the parts in a timely manner and all that kind of stuff, getting caught back up. And I can't believe how long it's taken to get caught back up, but that's what we're fighting. We're getting there, but now they're going to shut it down. It's just
Yeah, definitely agree with that for sure.
Okay, so Derek, when at $525 for a one bed shack, BFE in Kansas is full crap. Used to pay $600 for 3 nice bedroom rent. Before COVID, cost me 50 extra tank of gas. Hey, Derek, I agree with you. There's a lot of things that went up and cost more and all that kind of stuff too. The inflation has went crazy with the situation of COVID. And here's what I'm going
to rates right now too is another thing.
Yeah, that's don't get me started on that situation, because what that's really done to help consumers really well afford more things and stuff like that. Let's raise the interest rate so we can cut more jobs and cut more stuff on that. And that's my opinion. I got to get started on that too. But and Derek, I understand that. But when we as consumers keep continuing to buy these I'm not just talking cars. I'm talking all the other things that went along with us that everybody paid over sticker for, paid more money for, did whatever. That goes back to hand in hand. What's something worth? What something's worth is when 2 people agree to a price and the other person pays for it, and off the door they go. But I don't like the fact that the inflation and where it's at. I don't like where the interest rates are at. I don't like this strike. It's not good for our economy. It's not good for everybody else. And these unions and the manufacturers need to get a happy medium agreement somewhere from that part. That's kind of where I'm at.
Well, and here's the other thing that what I don't understand is that if you're not happy with your job, that's part of being in the U.S. and America, is that you have options. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want that job or don't want to do that job for that wage, go find something that you do want to do, or something that pays what you want to pay. There's a cause and effect for everything, I guess.
And you're right. There is a cause and effect of everything. It's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And how much do you want to pay? What do you want to do from that part? But I'm still the fact of, if the job you've got you're not happy with, it's your job to go find something bigger, better, or whatever from that part. And if you want to sit around and complain, it's not going to get you anywhere either. And from that part, but I don't know. I just hope that these unions can get something put together pretty quick with the manufacturers, not just Ford. I'm talking about Stellantis and GM. To put something together, because as we keep going through this day by day, it's costing, I don't know, we want to say millions or whatever you want to pay. It's costing per day that this is happening. And I agree that American worker needs to stand on his 2 feet and fight for what he needs to fight for and that kind of thing too. But my opinion is, let's be realistic. Let's be fair. Let's be even on both sides and that sort of thing too.
And the true impact is the consumer at the end of the deal, and recognizing that it comes down to your customer, that you're really hurting or you're really affecting long term. And that's the part that I guess that probably bothers me the most, is that eventually it's going to hurt Ford in the pocketbook when they strike and stuff like that, but long term, just what you're doing to the consumer at the end of the deal. For sure.
I get it. So anyway, God, I got it back. Look at that. It's fast on the draw there, Josh. Our sign in the back went away, but I got my mouse here now. The new FTC rule says 15 minutes. It's got to go to sleep. So guess what? I got my mouse here to pick it up.
Got it there, ready to go.
Chad, good morning. How you doing, buddy? And
so we've got some kind of exciting stuff that happened around here this last week. I don't know. We've got all these new horses in the stable.
We do. I kind of forgot about that too. They're kind of leaving as fast as they come in, though. Too.
Yeah.
The 24 Mustang is here, and let's get it out on the table here real quick. Everybody thinks it looks like a Camaro. No, it doesn't. Come in and see it in person. The pictures don't do it justice. Everything else, that part, the tech inside that car is incredible.
Yeah.
From that part,
that whole dash. I set this black one like from the passenger side all the way across to the driver's side is an LCD screen.
LCD screen,
like.
Yeah. And the settings you can do with it, the different years, they even got dash settings to go clear back to the Fox bodies. You could change the dash to look like an old Fox body.
Oh, really?
Too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hadn't played with one or anything. In fact, just this morning is the first time I sat in that black one out there. And so.
It is a cool car. I seen the first one got totaled out too. Someone got a little crazy. And I couldn't tell if it wrapped around a tree or wrapped around a pole, but it is done, toast, out of here. I don't know where that was at or whatever, but lots of power, lots of fun, everything else in that part. The exhaust modes are pretty cool too. There's 3 different exhaust modes on them.
I mean, they've got the drifting brakes. They've got, I mean, there's all sorts of the line lock. Just the tech that they're putting into those cars just for the performance side of things, I think is pretty intriguing.
Well, what I tell you where I'm most excited about that car is this is, it's a brand new car from ground up and the tech and everything that's in it and from that part. But I hate to guess, we've seen the GTD, the 300,000 miles, $300,000 car, but I've been told it's 400,000 time to get it equipped and stuff like that too. But just think about where that car is really going to go. And everybody's asking, Phil, when you get one? You know what? Until they build one with more horsepower than my GT500, I ain't getting one. I can't do that. But do I think they're going to come out with something like that will have to be in my bubble? Yeah, I think so. I think it's coming, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that car. But if you haven't seen the 24, we got a couple sitting on the showroom floor. We got, of course, the one of them I'm going to show from is an ordered unit sold and leaving here shortly. The other, we got a black GT, and I think there's a black EcoBoost out there too.
And then that gray one, or
the gray one, that's Azure gray. That's the one. Yeah, that was ordered in for a customer, and I believe it's leaving today. I think, but don't quote me on when it's actually leaving or whatever from that part. So, yeah, here Jared just sent the picture.
I've seen this
one. Jared, I think maybe Jared Shivers just sent us a picture of the 24 Mustang totaled out. I'm thinking, Josh, what happened there? Jared was driving and didn't know how to drive the car and lost control. I think that's what happened. He couldn't handle the horsepower that it's got. He's not used to that horsepower that a Ford produces compared to the Chevrolets that he's used to driving. And it got away from him.
Well, there would have had to have been alcohol involved in that deal, but yeah.
Well, yeah. So anyway, there's the picture. I wish we could figure out a way to get it up on the deal, Josh. But
throw it up on the screen
so everybody can kind of see that. So we'll get to working on that here just a little bit. But I do think that's what's going on. And Jared is one of our guys we've known for a long time. He worked with us in Hutch and lives up in the old northern side of Kansas now from that part. But he's a true diehard bow tie guy, which we used to be, but now we're kind of on both sides of the fence, and he kind of likes to rub it in a little bit. Okay, there it is. But yeah, I do think that's what's happened. I think Jared wasn't used to the horsepower that Mustang puts out, and it got. You can't tell if it got around a pole or it got around a tree.
Hit a pole, or that hit a
tree
pole
or something. But it does look like it.
Whatever it was, it didn't give.
No, and there's some pictures of it inside. And Jared says, no reason to go there. I'm just sorry that you can't handle the horsepower that Josh and I can now handle that you're not used to. I get it from that part, but it is kind of crazy. How would you like to feel like that? The guy that just bought that and did that.
Facebook famous, baby.
Going viral. Going viral. For sure. Okay, Kelly, keep laughing about my shirts. That's going to be another thing we're going to do. Hey, 316-462-3673. Hey, get on the phone here. Love to hear about your opinion on the strikes, questions, and whatever you're seeing or whatever out there in the media that everybody's putting out there. Want to talk about this 24 Mustang, anything in the automobile world? Let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. That number comes right in the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get past into the podcast. We'll get you on the air here. Get you that great price package, about over $130, and make it happen.
So the other thing that we did here the other day was the Ranger training. Did you happen to sit in on any of that?
Well, I started to. Okay, that's the next thing we got to talk about. An all-new Ranger, ground up, brand new. Anyway, I started to get into the training and got pulled away and everything else too from that part. But yeah, we do have the 24 Ranger. It was a Lariat version that they had here, and it's bigger, it's longer, it's wider, more power, more torque. Everything's just totally different on that truck. And I do kind of like the idea. I mean, that Ranger came out with us, and it had been used over the water on different countries and stuff when they brought it
Europe
to us.
And stuff.
Yeah. And now then this truck has been built by here in the States, and it's getting shipped back over the other countries and stuff too from that part. And I asked, why it wasn't made just a little bit bigger or whatever. Well, he told me the reason it's the maximum it can be made to go over to some of the other countries, because the maximum is they allow on their roads, the widths and lengths and all that kind of stuff too, that they allow for that. But it's still, there's more leg room, more everything else inside that cab and stuff. But got a new model coming, the Raptor, and everybody's all excited about the Raptor and everything else like that. But I just don't know how many Ford's going to produce. They've We've gotten one so far. Don't know how many more we're going to get. I can't get anybody to give me a commitment on how many they will give us or whatever. But if you're looking for a mid-size compact truck, I think the level field of playing has been changed. I mean, I think we've been very competitive with the Tacoma and the Nissan and the Chevy Colorado, but I don't think that's the fact anymore. I think we've taken the next step above, and the other manufacturers are going to have to go back and step up and try to catch up to it.
Yeah, years ago, I think Chevy did that with the Colorado, and then they just kind of make the Colorado bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually, I don't think there was a whole lot of difference between the Colorado
Size of it,
and the
right.
Silverado, and I don't know, making that Ranger much bigger. I think you would kind of do the same thing with the F-150.
Agree.
And that market, and then so for pickup wise, having the Maverick and then the Ranger and then the F-150, it's definitely a lineup there of available options for the consumer for sure.
Yep. So a lot of new stuff here in the store to look at. I wish we had a 24 Ranger here to show you. We don't.
Any idea on?
They're in production as we speak, and I need to go study that truck a little bit more to kind of get some more dates and things of that on when it's coming for that part. I tell you, the other thing that's crazy is they're going to start building some 24 Super Duties in October.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, the new Super Duty was redone in 23. So excited to get some more 24s in here and stuff. I still got quite a few 23s coming, which is cool. Hopefully by year end, those will be here ready for people with their tax breaks and all that kind of stuff too. 24 F-150, all refreshed up and some neat options and things on it, but they're not going to start building that truck until January. So I don't think we'll see any of those trucks in February, maybe March before we'll see any of the 24 F-150s.
Before you get it clear to buy on those.
Yeah.
The as far as numbers of Rangers for F-150s,
I'm going to give you a close number. In normal production days, which we haven't seen for a while, it used to be around 800,000 of F-150s they would make per year, and about 200,000 of Rangers, give or take in there, kind of back and forth and all kind of stuff. Of course, right now, until the strike gets over, the Ranger and the Bronco plant is what's shut down up in Dearborn. I heard, and I don't know if it's, again, you hear, but you don't know if it's true or not, that they idled one of the plants shifts in Kansas City. It's like third shift or something like that got idled or whatever from that part. And well, that's true. Again, that's media telling me that. Ford hasn't
come out and said that. Yeah,
from that part. But I do think what I have heard is Ford is working better with the other two with the union. That's why our parts depots haven't been shut down yet, and why they're shutting down the GM ones and the Stellantis ones from that part. So anyway, good old Delbert's on the line. Let's get Delbert passed in here. I bet you old Delbert's got an opinion on the union, the strike. You better bet that.
I would, I would agree with that.
Hey, let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. And love to hear your opinion on the strike or the new products from the Ranger, the 24 Mustang, the new 24 F-150. Lots of exciting things there, too. So 316-462-3673. And there's Delbert. Delbert, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Good. How are y'all this morning?
Perfect. How's everything in your world?
Oh, going really good so far this week. Everything's sounding good in the vehicle, running good. And, hoping that the flex plate doesn't ever give out again. But
yeah, I get that too.
Since it's the same part number, it's going to. So.
Okay, so Deborah, we know you want to give us your opinion on this union strike. What's your opinion? Or you have an opinion? Maybe you don't.
I have opinions on unions. Yes. I was a union member with the machinist there in Wichita for many years, paying dues, going on strikes way back in the 90s and 80s. But, nobody really wins in a strike. That's the main thing here. Customers, for sure, in this case, are definitely not going to win. They're going to end up paying more for a vehicle that's already priced almost out of existence for some people.
Yep.
So, 40%, boy, I'll tell you what, I do work. I'll let everybody know I do work for the government, so I have a good job. I get paid. I'd love to get paid more as well, but the only raises I get are COLAs, cost of living. So, I agree with getting cost of living when things go up, but here's the thing: is we need to get prices to come down, not go up. How do we do that? That's the biggest question I've always had. Everybody wants to raise prices, raise wages, but nobody wants to figure out how to get the prices to come down, you know.
Well, and I think you're right.
And that's just not food, but cost of goods and services as well.
Yeah, and I guess that's my whole thing is we can complain about what we're paying for products and services and stuff like that too, but then when we want to raise our income or whatever for doing, I don't want to take this negative at all, but for doing exactly the same job. If you're not getting paid for what you want to get paid at your job, I think you need to do what you got to do to improve yourself, get better, better schooling, better training, whatever it is, to try to get a movement in level of where you're at.
Move up in the commercial world. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only so
Get it out
much.
there, Phil. You got it.
There's only so much that a certain position can support, you know, before you're overpaying for that position. And you got to do something different. You want to make more, you got to do something different.
Right.
One of the things about the 40% that was being asked is that's not going to be an instant. Hey, we're getting 40% tomorrow when we get this contract signed. No, that's over time.
Yeah.
So over 4 years.
Really
4 years.
Realize that. But that's still 40% is a lot. I think the biggest we ever got was 12% was one of the contracts we got, and that was over a 6-year time frame. So I was just like, you know, it can't keep going up in wages just because you feel like the company's making too much money.
I mean, the company's got to make money. The company's got to make money. That's what they're there for. Okay. And I've been on the side with the CEOs making too much money, and they do. They really do make too much money. Yes, they have to make the decisions, but one of the original Boeing presidents at the Wichita plant never made $1 million until after Spirit Aerosystem came out. Okay.
I know a lot of people didn't know that. He was paid. You know, he was getting good money. I won't disclose that payment, but he was getting pretty good money. And you know, he didn't ask for the raise, but that was part of the deal when Spirit purchased the Boeing plant. Was he got to stay on and train the new president, and that was like 2 years, and then he got a seat on the board. So he made out like a bandit.
Right.
And did you know that gentleman? I know his name, and I'm just not going to disclose it because I think he's passed by now.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
He was kind of like Ross Perot. He drove an older car. He didn't let his kids just have money. He made them work for it. You know, he brought his kids up right. So that's what a CEO should be doing, not what these new CEOs are. Well, I've got a master's degree in in basket weaving, and I should make, you know, $10 million a year just to run this plant. Well, that's not the way it should work either.
You know, and again, everybody in these bigger jobs need to understand that they've got big decisions to make to keep the company making money. If they make the wrong decisions, the company could go broke, and then you're out of a job. And then the workers want all these guarantees. Well, you know what? Those CEOs and all the executives up there, there's no guarantees what they're going to get made. They made the right decisions, the right time.
And there's no guarantee they're going to be on the job for a long period of time.
Right. Yes, exactly. From that part. So
they could be, it's kind of like a football player. They could be kicked out at any point.
Yep.
They don't have a guarantee. Well, you're going to be here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's pros and cons. And I do believe that the guy in the trenches and all that kind of stuff needs to be paid correctly. Not doubting that a bit. I agree with the cost of living raises. I understand that too. From that part.
I think that's one of the things that, and I'm just going to give you guys a shout out here. Mount Hambelton Ford does right. They, you know, Lisa is a great employer. She takes care of her employees when she can. I'm sure she's making good money, but she's also taking care of her employees. She's not just reaping the benefits. She's helping the employees. And that's what they need to do out there and help the people in the trenches. Just don't sit up there and collect all the money and say, I'm making all the big decisions. I deserve this.
Yeah. So, Delbert, you were part of a union for how many years?
From, let's see, well, really 25 years with that company.
25 years.
17 with Boeing, and then 8 when Spirit took over.
And
when Spirit took over, I was part of SPIA.
Yeah.
At that point. And it's a right to work state, which is another thing people need to understand on some of these things. We don't know the situations out there in the plant world. I don't think Michigan is a right to work state, but I think there's at least one plant in a right to work state. which all that means is they can fire you for any reason if they want to.
Correct. And then
Yes,
as an
they
employee,
do try to give good reason, but
yeah. And then, so in all those years, you said you had been through a couple of different strikes. Is that correct?
yes.
What was the longest?
Like I said, nobody wins.
Yeah. What was the longest time that you had to go through that deal?
Gosh, it's been so long ago. I really don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
The first one I think was the longest, and I'd been there 5 years at that point. And we're going out there. I even had tires slashed
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
at the first one. Yeah, I had a. You're gonna love this one. I had a brand new Nissan '88 Nissan Desert Runner truck, and it had 31 and a half on it, which back then, that was a pretty nice package. And it was red, white, and blue, and had a tire in the back. Well, they slashed all 4 tires around the vehicle, but they missed the one in the back.
Yep.
Thank goodness for insurance on that one. I'll say that, because that was pretty expensive back then.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I couldn't imagine as as an employer, or excuse me, as an employee, not knowing when you get to go back to work. That I just don't know.
Right.
Mentally, that I think that would do something to you as well.
Well, I don't know.
And there's always talk that on the picket line, there's always talk, well, what are these guys actually trying to get us? The union people out there on the table sitting there talking to the people. You don't know what conversations are really going on.
Sure. Yeah. And then as an employee too, I'm sure there's probably division within the employees of, hey, we need to be going back to work, or we need to, we need to continue to strike or strike longer or hold out for more. So then you have kind of that division going on too. I think that would be tough.
Yep. Absolutely. You're absolutely right there.
Yeah, and and Delbert, just like you said, no one wins in these strikes or anything else from that part too. And I don't know what the time frame that I've heard different numbers out there too of how much money the unions got set aside to pay these employees, but that's got to run out soon. I don't know if that's I've heard anywhere from 11 days to 20 days to 30 days. I don't know what that might be, what they've got set aside, but
and they don't get their full pay either. They only get a partial payment. I think ours was $100 a week when I was making, probably $400 a week. So at that time, roughly,
yeah,
just to keep it simple. But yeah, so you're getting a fourth of your pay if you're lucky. I don't know how theirs is situated, but that's how ours was.
Sure.
So it's like, they're not getting their full pay. That's all I'm saying there.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. So, going back to that 40% for over 4 years, I think it is 4 years. Don't quote me on that. You hear different things and stuff like that too.
Right.
But all that is going to do, everybody, it's if we overpay for positions that are doing these jobs, it's just going to raise the price of the cars. And
that's where it usually goes.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's going to get interesting. I hope we can get these strikes and everybody back to work and get this economy moving again and get this supply chain was getting so close to being repaired and get it back under control and stuff like that too. I mean, we were starting to get cars back on the lot and everything else too. We're starting to get some inventory that we haven't had for a couple years. And I'm scared to death. I hope we can keep these plants moving as much as we can, or get the Bronco and Ranger plant back on track and get it back going. So hopefully they're getting close.
Get those chips working.
Yeah, exactly. So,
when they're sitting there on the lot. So I will say this: we had, my job requires us to have a vehicle and to tow a trailer, and we had a 2011 Ford F-350 dually, diesel and all that. I don't remember the size of it, but we had to turn it in with 13,000 miles on it. It ran perfect. And that's just one of the things. After so many years, the government says, we got to get you a new vehicle. So we did. We had to turn it in Wednesday. And my job is to take all the emergency lights off. And oh my God, is that a mess? That's another story too.
Yeah.
And get it back to looking what it looked like when it was delivered to us 11 years ago. And I wasn't even here then. But So they give us a brand new 250 F-250, and usually government vehicles are either in white or in the blue for Air Force. Well, we got some bronze-looking color, which is an awesome color, but Jesus. But we didn't get the dually. You know, it's a 10,000-pound rated load capacity, so it will tow our trailer with a 6.8 6.8 liter 10-speed transmission. So I mean, it'll do it. It just seems like, why did they give us such a lower end truck to get our job done? But it's with the requirements that we have now.
Can I tell you why, Delbert, why that happened? Because this dang supply chain we got, that's all they could get. That's all they could get built and everything else. Delbert, here, just for an example, I got a Super Duty sitting on my showroom floor. It's a brand new 23. Okay. Brand new 23. The gentleman ordered this truck in September of 21. And it's just now getting it. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Why are you getting that truck?
Same time frame that we ordered this truck.
Because just the supply chain and what they can build and what they got and everything else too. That's why you got what you got. Was because the supply chain is still not fixed and it's still not where it needs to be.
Yeah. We're happy with it, but you know, this is one of those things. We're going to have this thing for 10 years at least. And by the time we're done with it, because we just don't drive it very much, as you can see, in 11 years, we only put 13,000 miles on the other one.
Sure.
So if it stays on the base, and you know, gas engines aren't as forgiving when it comes to just slow driving and slow idling and things like that as the diesels are. So I think we'll probably end up having more maintenance done in this one, but that's just my thought at this point. Hopefully not, but.
Yep. Well, okay, Delbert, as always.
Very nice truck. So anybody looking for a truck, man, go get you a 250. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They are great trucks, for sure. That is exactly for sure. So, well, anyway, Delbert, I appreciate your comments, your opinions. We need to get some more callers on here and give some more opinions like Delbert's. And Delbert, I can't thank you enough for your opinions on the unions and what happens on both sides, because that's what we have to do. We got to hear all sides of the coin of what's going on with the strike and all that kind of stuff too. And I'm just so scared to death that the media is not giving us the truth, facts, and everything else that we want to hear from that part too. So,
well, that, and are they actually getting the truth, facts as well? I mean, the tables are usually pretty tight-nipped. They'll come back and give you bits and pieces, but that's about it. So it's not always just the news media, but they're trying to fluff it up enough to get your attention. So that's for sure. But you know, it is what it is. We got to hope that it just doesn't last very long, and then they come together. Because even at 20%, that's a heck of a pay raise from what they're making now. You know.
Yep.
And they turned it down. But there's other things people have to remember. It's just not about the money. It's about the benefits that are out there, the health care, your dental, your medical, your eyes, and life insurance, things like that are all posted into those contracts. And it's not just about pay. And I know a lot of people that don't have a union contract like that don't understand that. So that's just the way of the beast.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So,
gentlemen, also I'd like to tell you, please don't send me anything this week. I know that's part of your policy, but if you can, give it to somebody else that can use it.
We'll do
plenty.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, well, let's get the phone ringing, everybody. Delbert, thanks again, buddy.
Thanks,
have
Delbert.
A great weekend.
Have a good one.
Talk to you soon,
right,
buddy.
Guys, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's get some more opinions going. 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you and everything else from that part. And Julie Arnold is asking, do we have another Maverick on your lot yet? Boy, Julie, can't tell you how much of the supply chain and stuff like that. I'd love to have a whole whole lines of Mavericks lined out here for you to walk in and pick your color, your trim level, all that kind of stuff. But we're still on an order basis on the Maverick. The demand for that truck is so huge. It's a great little truck, the 40 miles per gallon of the hybrid, all that kind of stuff. And they're still only being able to build as 35% of the hybrids. 65% of them have to be gas.
We get get a used one of those every once in a while, and it's going.
Talk about inflation.
Yeah.
From that part. So Julie, if you really want a Maverick, come in, sit down with us. Let's put an order in the bank to where you get the exact color you want, the options you want, and everything else too. from that part. So I wished I had some sitting here for you. There is one on the webpage right now. I just got through the loophole a little bit. It is sold as an ordered unit in for a customer. They're coming today to pick it up from that part. So I did a little texting here when you sent your text in there too from that part. So anyway, Rex, agree with you 100%. Get back to work. Let's get this economy moving. Let's get the supply chains fixed. Let's get things happening from that part. So anyway, Jeff Daniel wants a racing update. Well,
What do you got there?
okay, well, just so you all know, I'm sitting here this morning, and I laid my head on my pillow this morning at 3:56 is when I got to my home and put my head on my pillow this morning. So, you know, I'm got up, I'm here, and I'm ready to go, and I don't feel bad yet, but I get
hit the afternoon crash, maybe.
Yes. Anyway, we're headed back to Salina tonight again for night 2 of their whatever they call it, the clash or whatever from that part. And so let's give, I guess, Jeff, since you asked, I was going to talk about it because I'm a little bit torqued, whatever you want to call it from that part. We didn't get on the racetrack last night till about 1:30 to run our feature race. But let's back up to the heat race. Jake drew a 97 of 100, Josh. I tell you, we draw so terribly.
What is with that?
I don't know. I have no clue what that's about.
Does he have to draw? Can somebody else draw for him?
Well, I'll get to more better of that, okay? So he starts 9th in the heat race of back as he's number 9th in the first heat race. And we're in the new car, and we're still trying to figure the new car out and everything else like that. But I will tell you, I think we got to figure it out. He took off from 9th and got to 2nd.
Yeah.
If we had one more lap, I think he'd have won that heat race. But again, 8 laps, that's what we got. So when he went up to,
that's moving in 8 laps.
Yeah. So we came in to the pit area, and what they do, they have spoons for the top 3 of each heat race, or top 4. So the top 12 are going to draw a number, just what it is. So he didn't draw. There was a little kid in the pit area down there. So he looked at her and said, "Hey, draw for me." She drew a 3. So we started.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, we started 3rd, and he took off and led it for a little bit, had a caution, and took off again. And Dakota Sproul, who's a good racer and a good friend of Jake's and stuff, they were battling up there for 1st and 2nd. And 3rd place decides that he wants to dive into 3. And took Jake out with him and spun around, both of them. And Jake's left rear tire went down. So Jake drives through the infield over to us at the entry of pit 4 where the pit road starts. We changed his tire, get him out just in time enough because the tire was down so low we couldn't get a jack under the car and everything else. I can't think. I don't know who all was helping us over there change that tire, but there was 4 or 5 guys helping us get that tire changed and stuff. Got it changed just in time enough for him to scream around the racetrack on the back of the field, taking the green, and takes off, and he drives his butt off, and we get her back to 6th place. So we're hooting and hollering because that's really a great, coming back after diversity and everything else like that to come back to 6th place. We're pulling out last night, and I said, "Hey, let's go ahead and get our pit money while we're here." Jake says, "Hey, we're coming back tomorrow. Let's worry about tomorrow." I said, "No, just get it while we're here." So Jake's in the line, comes back. He goes, "You're not going to believe this, but they DNF'd us." I go, "What?" They DNF'd us because Jake didn't go around the racetrack, come back around into pit lane, and enter off the racetrack. Since he drove across the infield, they DNF'd him. Didn't say nothing to him. Let him go out and race the next 10. Race had 10 laps to go, and he raced 10 more laps for nothing. I noticed on the my race pass, it wasn't moving. He was still sitting there 12. Oh, it's just a glitch. No big deal. That's where when all the cars got around, that's where no, they DNF'd him. Asked the question, I got told it was the rule of the racetrack. Never in my life have I heard of a rule like that you had to go back on the racetrack and come back around and enter in to not get there. Of all my years of racing. But if it's a rule, it's a rule. Yeah. But you know what I don't like about it? If that's your rule and that's what you're going to put in place, and when you have a driver's meeting, put it out there so everybody knows that if you get in a wreck and you come in the infield, you're DNF'd. You're disqualified. Don't tell after the fact. Don't let it go up to the pay window. Don't let us keep racing. You should have been on the race receiver telling Jake, "Hey,
you're out.
You're out, buddy. You need to go." Okay. The guy that took him out coming in 3rd place, he tried to go back in, but he spot back, and they told him, "Oh no, you go to the back." Well, he just went off the field because he was mad at. But he's the one that caused the wreck. He dove his nose in there, shouldn't have put his nose where it should have been. But I just don't like the fact that after the fact, if the rule's a rule, okay, then tell him you should have told him when we come through the infield, they should have come over the speaker and said, "Okay, Jake, you're done."
Yeah.
Never heard that rule in my life. Never knew, understood it. I'm not on a rant. We're going back tonight. We're going to kick their, what we're going to do. And just wait. I'm going to dial that car in so bad, and it is dialed in. So anyway, Jeff, that's the racing updates that happened to Team 3J last night. Look out for tonight. And hate to tell you, if I was that 30 car, I'd look out too. Jake's a little bit torqued too. So
Sure.
anyway, hey, let's get some more opinions going on. We only got a few minutes left on the show. Anything in the ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world, anything you want to talk about this strike, whatever. Delbert has some great comments and stuff too, but I still love your best one out here. Rex Stigero says, get back to work.
Let's go to work.
Let's go earn a living. Let's go earn what we deserve. Okay.
Yep.
And I agree with that. Those workers, I want you to earn, and I want you to earn what you deserve. Everything else, I do. But let's get realistic. Let's get realistic on both sides of this deal. Let's get back to work. Let's do what's good for the economy. Let's do what's good for everybody. And let's stop hurting
At the end of the line, the
and let's
consumer.
go back. We talk about the parts side of that too, Josh. But let's think all these customers have got ordered units that are expecting their cars to be built, and now they're not. And they're just getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
And especially when you're pick on the Bronco, which has already had such a black eye to get to market anyways, and been through, so many trials and tribulations on customers that have waited way too long to get that product anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, any other questions, comments whatsoever? Let's get on the phone. 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. And give you that great price package, right?
Yep. The other thing I wanted to talk about
I hope you're going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about.
Was this next week?
It starts Monday and Monday.
So it's Tuesday. But yeah, that's where I was headed.
Okay, let her rip.
So
let her rip. Everybody listening, because you're going to be excited about this. This is really cool.
Yeah. So Tuesday starts for us a buy 3 get 1 free on tires. So you got the 26th through the 30th. So if you are in a spot where you need some tires, or even if you're getting close, you need to be definitely taking advantage of this. So this is huge, man. We talked a lot in the show just about consumer goods and how they've increased, or the inflation on that stuff. And now's the opportunity to win one for sure. So it's going to be on around the wheel or Ford program tires. So it's not going to be every make and model, but there is 16 different manufacturers that this would apply to for sure. So it's a huge deal. It really is a huge deal. And that last week we are going to be hoofing it, trying to get everybody taken care of. And so make sure that you get on the stick and get with us so that we're sure to have your make and model attire that you want for your vehicle available, and then also that you have a appointment or a time slot to get that thing taken care of as well. So it is going to be a huge deal for us, and great for the consumer as well.
Yes, exactly. So buy 3, get 1 free. Exciting times. I know we've been getting everybody ready for it and stuff like that too, but it doesn't start till Tuesday. So
yep, that's correct.
If you're even close to needing a set of tires, this is the time to get it done and get some tires done and save some money and everything else too. So
especially this time of year, I don't even want to say it, but we're definitely coming up on fall, and right around the corner is going to be inclement weather and stuff like that. You definitely want to make sure you're going through that season with good tread on your tire on your vehicle for sure.
Exactly. So Josh, we're coming right up in the end here and stuff like that too, and no more callers, no more nothing. So what I kind of love about this, when you've done already, we had to stay on here for the full hour. We don't have to do that now to keep everybody entertained and stuff like that too. But anyway, let's recap real quick. The new 24 Mustang is here. Come out and check it out. Lots of exciting stuff coming here too. I do tell you, if you're looking for the Lightning or the Mach-E, and I had a statement put to me here the other day. We love our F-150s, we love our Super Duties, all that kind of stuff. For every Lightning that Ford sells, it gets them to be able to produce 10 more F-150s because of the cafe ratings and stuff out there too. So if you can look at one of those or whatever, I'd love to help you with that. The Mach-Es are really starting to take off because we got some stock now.
Yeah, the availability of it.
So new Ranger is going to be here shortly. Everything else from that part too. And let's just hope this strike gets over. Let's get a happy meeting between everybody. Let's make this economy get going. Let's get this America working together. As Rex says, let's get back to work and get this strike over with. And hopefully everything can kind of mellow out a little bit and cool out stuff too. So hopefully we get close to getting this strike under control. But remember, Tuesday morning, if you need tires, how long does it go for? Did you say?
It's the 30th. So Tuesday through Saturday. So it's only a 6-day or a 5-day 5-day sale, which is it's kind of crazy, but that's okay. We're ready. Got the staffing, definitely got the inventory and stuff like that to get you taken care of. So,
well, but as much as I got to say it, everybody have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks, Delbert, for calling in on your comments and stuff like that too. Everybody, have a great Saturday. Be safe. Be fun. We'll talk to you next Saturday.